About 2 months ago, we decided we were tearing out all of our 125 gallons, and today I'm going to tell you why. What is going on, shrimp This is Rob with flipaquatics.com, and today I'm telling you all about these 125 gallons. We decided to tear all these out from our rack in the basement. That rack was running with 24 of these guys for about 3 years. We decided enough is enough. Out with the old and in with the new. Today, we are talking about what we're replacing it with and the reason why. So let's get right into it. During its former glory, this side had 12 125 gallons on it, but now it just has a measly 4. We just broke down 2 more. We got some construction going on down here, and this is slowly turned into our Guppy breeding rack / Endler breeding rack. And today I'll show you all through it. But before we get into that, let's check out the other side. Starting at the opposite end, this rack too only has 4 125 gallons left. It houses our shell dweller tank, plus some other things, but these are all coming down soon. And we have our new system started already. Now, this whole system is going to be dedicated to snails, and I'm super excited to show you how it works and why we're doing it. So the reason we decided to break down these 125 gallons is simple. We ran out of room. We needed more room, especially for our snails, and so we came up with a specialized system that would work perfect for us, and that's what we're executing on now. Each one of these systems has a total of 16 tanks, actually 18 tanks now I'm thinking about, 6 per row, and this whole system is dedicated to nearite snails. So you can see we have a couple different types. Here's what one looks like with nothing in it. We have our custom Matten filters made in the back. That's 20 ppi, which is specific for snails and nanofish, so it doesn't clog as easy. The whole middle row is pretty much empty. We're just now getting this whole thing set up. But this is a central system. So these 18 tanks all share the same water parameters. They all drain down to a sump, which then recirculates the water, making this a perfect system for nearite snails. Around back, all these tanks are drilled with 1-inch bulkheads. That means they can have pretty good flow going through them. And like I said, they all drain down to the central sump, which is a 40 gallon. So you can see them overflow in there. The cool thing about this system is we have automatic water change. So this is a solenoid valve, or solenoid, forgive my pronunciation. And this automatically kicks on with a timer for 30 minutes every single night. So our biggest struggle here with having so many tanks is water pressure. And so the only way we can get around keeping the maintenance on this tank a bare minimum was to do water changes at night when no one's here. So that's why we have that solenoid valve, so that we can maximize our water usage. This whole side of the rack is going to be 10 gallons. That's the perfect size for snails. But the other side, where the guppies and endlers are going to be a little bit different. So before we finish talking about these snails, let's go check out that side. This whole side we haven't started to renovate yet, but we're getting very close. We're probably going to start construction next week, which is super exciting. For this whole side, we're going to be doing 5-gallon tanks. And the reason for that is because our whole purpose of having these is breeding, baby. So let's show you what we actually keep in this rack. So we have a bunch of different guppies over here, and we found that the big tanks, these are 40 gallons, just are a little bit too big for selective breeding. So these are our white Moscows. There's tons of girls in here. I think we only have 1 male, which is up there, maybe a couple more. And these guys are doing phenomenal. We hope to have these guys available on the website more often here in the near future. These guys are some Dumbo Platinum females. There's quite a few babies in this tank. The glass is pretty gross, but it's a breeding tank, and that's exactly what it's for. It's making babies, not looking pretty. Check out these red snakeskin platinum guppies. These guys are gorgeous. Tons of different color, tons of variety, super pretty, tons of activity, but not enough breeding. That's why we gotta separate them out. Now, I think these guys are absolutely gorgeous. These are the half-black white guppies, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. That male is just flaring up, and the females don't look bad themselves. Fat and beautiful, as Jay Guppy would say. These are the black koi guppies, super pretty. I love the color. One of my personal favorites down here. Breeding really well for us. Starting to get ones that are sellable. but that male is just showing off. The rainbow guppies are a little underrated in my opinion. These guys just have some classic colors. Look at them two males competing for that big lady and all the babies in the mix. Purple mosaics are one of our favorites. They're really hard to get that purple color out and a very premium guppy that it's hard to get. So we're excited to start breeding these. Guppy Joe needs to step up his game. That's one of our main breeders, so shout out to Guppy Joe. But these guys, that girl is just phenomenal. These ones are the red-brown mosaics. Now they got a bunch of different colors in there. So once we get our selective breeding going, we'll be able to separate out the nice ones and really get this line looking great. We were just talking about the purple mosaics, and these are all the babies we've been pulling. Super pretty. They're getting close to the point that we can start selling them. But again, it'll be nice to really separate these out, get some breeding groups going, and have a lot of fun with these guys. These are the blonde tuxedo guppies. Now you can see these guys are hungry and always so. They seriously could eat you out of house and home. Super active, nice black colors, red, super cool guppy. Now these are some mixed Dumbo mosaics, but look at that female, just a beautiful tail. That male right there is just absolutely gorgeous. Super, super pretty. So this is just a mixed group. They get a little bit of everything. But cool to see that mosaic pattern. Next up, we got the albino full platinum guppy. These guys are like as albino as they get. Super cool colors. Very, very crisp guppy. Love to see it. Next up, we got the luminescent cobra guppy. Tons of females in here, not a lot of males, but a whole bunch of babies. Now here we got some super blue Moscow guppies. These males are absolutely phenomenal. I'm super pumped to have these breeding. Jay Guppy's been doing a really good job with these guys. They got tons of moss in there, some tang, and doing really good. The red cobra guppies are next. These guys just have some phenomenal color. They really pop in a planted aquarium. And these guys haven't really started breeding too much for us, but still absolutely stunners. Then once we started testing out the 40 gallons, we did realize quickly that we needed a breeding rack set up where we could separate out some adults. This is where we keep the groups that we really want to get breeding and really want to do some selective breeding. So these are all 10-gallon tanks, and this is what really inspired us to convert this full rack of 125 gallons. And the only one I'm going to show on this rack, because I want to save all these for another video, this is the blue metal dragon guppy. This guy is phenomenal. He's got some gorgeous ladies with him. And this is a guppy that we're super excited to have because these guys are just absolutely stunning. One of my favorite guppies for sure. Just because I didn't want to be called a liar, I did want to show you we do have some Endlers down here. These are blue star Endlers. There's not too many in here because we've been moving them next door knowing that we're breaking these tanks down. And we're not going to move our breeding stock back until this rack is completely set up. But these are the last remaining Endlers in this rack. So let me run through the plan for this system real quick. So in the past, we've only ever sold assorted nearite snails. So this is just talking about the first rack. So we just sold an assortment like this one. But now we're really going to start dividing these out and selling some new types. Like look at these guys. Just super small, super cool nearite snail. Great algae eaters nonetheless. But now we're going to have a bunch of different types. And then down here, this is going to be our full mystery snail rack. We're going to have a ton of different types of these guys. Already we have a decent amount, but the care for these guys is going to get so much easier on our side. And also we can keep so many more. And then the next rack, which is going to be done soon because we have a huge import coming for these guys, is all different types of rabbit snails. So the next one will be probably ram's horn snails, then an other snail, and then an import/quarantine rack. So that's all coming super soon, but they're all gonna look like this, whereas the other rack is gonna look like all 5 gallons. That way we can do some more selective breeding, and it's gonna be just a ton of fun. So I'm super excited for this system to really start coming together. I would say this thing will be done within 2 months, and so we can update you guys on what this thing looks like very quickly. So 2 things that are going to be the key to success with these racks is 1, filtration. If every tank has one of these in it, this is called a matin filter. And a matin filter is one that has air powered to force water from one side to the other. And then this sponge acts as the filtration. We are just putting this back in the back of the tank, and the water is going to pass through it to go to the overflow, and that's how we're going to get our filtration. Like I said, this is 20 ppi, which means 20 pores per inch. So that means water can pass through it more freely, and this stuff is going to be a lifesaver. Now, the next thing that is super important in this rack are these guys right here. Now, this is twin wall polycarbonate. This is what we put over all of our aquariums, and this is how we keep humidity down. But more importantly, for snails and guppies, one, we don't want jumpers, and two, we don't want snails getting out. So we get this from Menards. Really, really great stuff, easy to work with, and we're gonna cover all these tanks with it. So again, this rack is gonna be done very soon, probably much quicker than 2 months, probably more like 4 weeks. I'm gonna put the time crunch on Marcus, and this thing is gonna look completely different very soon. Let me know down in the comment section, but which guppy was your absolute favorite from today's video? I'm super curious to know which one your favorite is. Mine is probably gonna be the blue metal dragons, but I'm a sucker for the black kois as well. So let me know what you guys think down below. And that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you're as excited as I am for this rack to come together. I'm super jazzed, super pumped to really get some Endlers breeding, some Guppies breeding, work with my man Jay Guppy, get this basement looking awesome. So it's coming really quick, and I'm excited to show you an update here in about a month, maybe 2 months. We're aiming for 4 weeks, but you never know what's gonna happen. You guys make it a great day. As always, God bless, and thank you for watching the video. We'll catch you on the flip side.